It was like a thunderbolt down my spine. The pain was immense. I got up dazed. The murmurs of the bill on ITV were floating in the room. I looked down at the floor, on the red carpet, and there was a trickle of warm water flowing down, making droplets on the floor. It couldn't be now. I'm still early. I walked tentatively to my hospital bag for the overnight stay, opened the zip, took out my folder, flicked through for the maternity helpline, and I called up. Maternity helpline? Hi. I think I'm going into labour. Okay, tell me what's happening. I've got a sharp contraction. And how many minutes apart are they? Well, I've only had one, and it was hard. Okay. What do you feel now? I feel a bit scared. Is there anything else that's happened? Oh, there was a little water. How much? Well, it touched the floor. You might need to come in. Okay, thanks. And I put the phone down. It was about 8:39. I didn't want to step out of my house, and I didn't have any more contractions, so it should be okay, right? So I went to bed and I slept. And in the morning when I woke up, I started feeling the whirs of contractions coming through. But it was okay. I pulled on my brown maternity pants, you know, the ones with the elastic that comes under your bra line. I put on my maternity t-shirt and my coat, put my bag on, made sure I had my electric key and the gas card because I didn't want to come home and not have any energy in my home with a newborn. And I went out, topped up the gas card and the electric key, and went to the hospital. Now in the hospital, in this boring clinical white room, after being intruded upon by a very rough nurse for an internal examination, I was a bit petrified when the doctor came to see me. I was on a bed that was propped up, and he explained to me that he was going to have to burst my waters because the hindwaters had broken and the baby might be getting an infection, so we had to burst the waters. Speculum in, ready for him with what looked like a knitting needle, into and pop. And I had a secret giggle to myself as the doctor flew back, the water gushing off the table. And I thought, that's for what your nurse did. Next, I was taken to another ward where I had to be around people with every kind of ailment, broken limbs, burns, just being sickly while I'm there full belly, walking around, bending over my bed, trying to concentrate on how I was going to breathe through these contractions. The doctors and the nurses weren't happy with how my baby was coming. She was taking her sweet time, but in my body, no thank you. So, after the contractions were getting even heavier, they decided, you're still not going fast along, Corinne, we're going to have to induce you. So tied to my lovely drip, walking around the wards trying to get gravity to help baby come through. Finally, the contractions were too strong for me to bear, and I was wheeled off to the labour ward. All of the while, I was pretty sad because my dream birth would have been in the water suite, a water pool. But because I was high risk now, I couldn't have a water birth. So I was wheeled through to the dry labour ward, and there I saw my old school friend pass by, also in labour, with her family and what looked like the church congregation with them. And there I was on my own, being wheeled to my room. Now in this room, I visioned that my birth would be just like, I knew how to use the gas and the air, I'd breathe through it, everything would just be like, and there she is, and congratulations, Corinne. But oh no, there were 3 of us that night on that labour ward, and what I could only explain, it was like howling to the moon. Every moment there was someone howling, it was echoing through the hospital walls, echoing down the wards and outside to the moon. it got too much for me. I didn't understand the gas in air. I just knew that I was in a whole heap of pain. And while I wailed, my last wail, I gave up and I surrendered. And in that moment, I was surrounded by white light. And it felt good. It felt soft. It felt loving. It felt like I was getting 1,000 cuddles at one time. There was no more pain. I didn't even feel my legs. I thought I was floating. It was just beautiful. I was at peace and I was resting. Then this reality started to fizzle away, and I was back in the ward, propped up on my bed with a midwife in front of me. "You're ready to push, Corinne." Oh? But funny enough, this was the best part. This was the part that I had the most control over. For every contraction that came, and I could push, and I was that much close to my baby being born, to meeting my baby. And this was what it was all about. And as she glided out and was placed on my chest, I couldn't help but marvel in the glory of what I had produced and made. And quite rightly so, I reflected back on what I used to do, and there was one song that I used to play on loudspeaker over my belly all the time, and it's a Damian Marley track called "There For You." And as I held her and I looked at her, without any prompting, all I could do was just sing to her, "Till Shiloh I shall not forsake thee, you always were there for me, and so I will be there for you, because you gave precious life to me, and so I give my life to you. And from then, while I continued singing, the nurse just told me, "Corinne, you were singing that all through your labour." And I was shocked and stunned because I wasn't there all through my labour. So, a few questions I pondered at that moment, and I want to ask you too, is when you have been in a struggle and in pain so immense that you've given up, have you ever felt that support around you? Because what I learned in that instant, although I was on my own and with a midwife in this massive part of my life, giving birth, I was alone physically, but not. There was something else there to protect me and keep me safe. And that was my realization that sometimes when we feel that we're alone, we're not really alone. You are loved, and there is something there to protect and support you. Thank you.